Hey, did you know that weather radar can show things other than storms, like here in this example? And this is actually something you'll see pretty often in the early mornings during spring, summer, and fall. You ever check?
My question is, have you tested the rainwater? And if you haven't, have you seen the results of our rainwater tests? And also, are you aware that many of the people sitting in this room right here have very high levels of barium, aluminum, and strontium in their blood? People are getting sick and dying. And we want the ADEQ not just to give us a little speech today, but actually to maybe perhaps speak out against it if you know it's going on. And if not, I would suggest you do a lot more investigation.
The app to check the radar, and there's all this weird, just, blue stuff all over the radar. That's all rain down toward the south. But what is this? This is ground clutter. Let me explain what that means. It's basically you're seeing bugs, maybe a few birds, and some bats also. But there's a reason why this happens.
Towards the Topeka area, look at all of this. Uh-oh, that's got to be snow, right? Because it's so cold outside. No, not snow, Joe. This is actually birds taking off from the various rivers, lakes, ponds over on the Kansas side, and they show on Doppler radar.
What you're seeing there in the middle of the eye here, this is the eye of the storm where it's pretty quiet, so you wouldn't expect there's going to be any rain there. This is actually birds.
So I'd like a comment on, one, the rainwater, what's in it, and two, what's in our blood. And if it's not coming from geoengineering, is it your responsibility to investigate that and tell us where it is coming from? Thank you.
Yeah, birds actually showed up in the middle of this hurricane, as they often do. We saw this with Hurricane Arthur a couple years ago. This is a product that shows you how similarly shaped everything is, where you see the red colors, you got a lot of similar things flying around like rain. All this blue stuff here is, a mixture of birds, maybe some feathers flying around. This product shows you what shape things are, okay? And basically when you see these kind of higher colors here, like the purples and the whites, that's when things are more hamburger shaped rather than, vertically shaped. So think about how birds fly. Right? So they're they would appear more hamburger shaped to the radar. That's why they're showing up like that, and they're very, very interesting stuff.
Into the upper atmosphere, the stratosphere, where they'd reflect away sunlight and cool the planet. And I know for certain that that will work. Not that there aren't side effects, but I know. And there are some bad side effects, like it partially destroys the ozone layer, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it clearly cools down. And one other thing, it's fast. It's saying that you do some geoengineering for a little while to take the worst of the heat off. You could create an ice age at a cost of 0.001% of GDP.
All right, man. Wow, what's up with the microphone every night? It's like they don't want me talking. Anyway, guys, welcome back to Above Ground World News. Had to get out the Birdman, the Salad Boy, and the other David Keith. Anyway, guys, make sure tomorrow night we do that conference call. If you want to go back and listen to the call from last Tuesday, it's down in the description. You just got to call the number. It's not a video, it's a conference call. This week on Tuesday, we'll have a lady that was diagnosed with stage 4 blood cancer, given 6 months to live. That was 8 years ago. But come listen how she overcome her massive challenge, and check out this product I've been trying. It's been helping me a lot. So anyway, thanks for everybody that joins that call. It does help the channel. And then congratulations to the 3 people that won the 3-month supply. Anyway, guys, hope to see you there. Let's jump into the show and get right into this, man. We got some tons of stuff to get into, but the that article I got in the thumbnail, I just realized it was 2018 on the McDonald's crap, but here's a newer one. McDonald's joins the meatless burger trend in one of its biggest markets. Oh man, so they're on board with the meatless burger bandwagon with a new version of its biggest international markets. It's gonna be selling the vegan burger, and Nestle is making the meatless patty. We know about Nestle. You know, they get free water and then make billions off people. So that's not going to be good. Then you also have the eatless meat. UN climate change report calls for change in the human diet. So the report on global land use and agriculture comes amid accelerating deforestation in the Amazon. Why are they cutting the woods down? The best thing to battle climate change, if it was real, would be planting trees. But no, they just keep cutting it down, wiping it out, clear cutting it. It's all intentional. Have you ever heard of a fish cannon? I thought this was pretty funny, pretty crazy. Now I did have an article where some Indian, they were letting some salmon loose up in Washington because of all the dams they put in. The salmon can't get where they need to go, and they stocked it, but for some reason I can't find the article. But check this out, the fish cannon. I mean, this is pretty crazy. Look at that. They shoot them up over the dam. So I never seen nothing like that. I thought that was just wild, man. Look at that. It's like a water slide or something crap. But I guess that's how they get the salmon up and over the dam. So pretty crazy right there. I got some other things I'm going to show you. So Russia says small nuclear reactor. I shouldn't even have said that word. Now they're going to blacklist the video. Blew up in a deadly accident. The failed missile test that ended in an explosion, killing 5 scientists last week on Russia's White Sea, involved a small nuclear reactor, according to a top official at the institute where they worked. Was anybody warned about this radiation cloud that was going across? Do you guys have iodine tablets? They never warned nobody about any of this stuff. So you can expect spikes in cancer and just more radioactive isotopes up in the atmosphere. I'm going to show you a pretty crazy. This is the article that I thought was this year, but it was actually last year, in August 10th of last year. And then I read, you know, when you get down, so I read down in the bottom, it said, oh, make sure you look at the date, but they like reposted this. But last year at the same time, 436 people were, and 20 were hospitalized due to a parasitic illness linked to McDonald's salads. Don't eat at McDonald's anyway, man. It's Franken food. So, not predicted more sea ice than average in the southernmost Arctic the week of August. We keep saying, man, they keep saying it's global warming. They keep saying the oceans are heating up. They're saying the Arctic melted, which it may have, but where's all the sea rise? Everybody I've talked to that lives down on the ocean and has docks said there has been 0 sea rise. Just all lies, man. And then check this out. The Brazilian president wants the people to poop every other day to help save the environment as he comes under fire for a surge in Amazon deaths. Why don't they just stop cutting down the forest? It's that simple. Why don't they plant some trees? We just seen China or India just dropped out, you know, millions of trees. It looked like a chemtrail, but they were dropping out millions of seeds. Here's another cold weather article. Australia hit by Antarctic front with towns receiving their first snow in decades. What's going on? They can't make up their mind. Is it heating? Is it cooling? Well, we know the grand solar minimum is going to lead to cooling. But then when you factor in all the geoengineering, all the bunker fuel, all the volcanoes going off, they don't even need to mimic volcanoes because we've had so much volcanic activity. Russia's secret nuclear-powered cruise missile may have been factored in mysterious blast that killed at least 5, so now it's 5. So Fox News is getting into the it's all Russia routine. Farmers innovate to fight food shortage from climate crisis. No, it's climate control. They have their hands on the thermostat. All fake news. We try to prove it every night. You know what happens when you tell the truth? This guy right here, forced to pay $195,000 fine over videos exposing the Planned Parenthood selling of baby parts. So instead of getting a medal, he gets fined. That's the world we're living in. Now we're losing a fight out here in San Diego on the 5G. They approved the 5G regulations. You know, we got it stopped when I was living up in Independence, Missouri. We got the towers took down. They moved them. They moved them like 3 miles down the road in a different town. So they're going to be blasting these things up. And then you also have it going on in Denver. Neighbors fight losing battle against 5G tower right next door to Denver home. So people need to get a hold of your neighborhood watches, and you got to talk to your neighbors. You got to go to the town hall meetings, and you got to go en masse. You got to get on radio shows, call into your radio shows, force the mainstream to tell the truth, or, you know, just shut them all off. If we don't listen to them, they will never, they got to do something. Now, we had a 4.3 magnitude quake off the Hawaii coast, and it didn't lead to any kind of tsunamis or nothing like that. It's got to be like a 7 or 8, you know, big quake. But it looks like we got more activity. We got the water coming back in. So it's going to be some crazy stuff. Oh, before I get into this thing, I was going to, let me see if I can bring that clip in. The cyclone that hit in China, man, it was raining down octopuses. I'm going to see if I can add this video in here. Give me a second to add it in. Hey, thanks out there, Bamboo. It might take me a second to get this here. Didn't get time to get it queued up. So let me jump over here, try to find it. All right, where is it? I'm looking here. Sorry, guys, for the wait. Yeah, why I'm looking for this. You know, I got to apologize for ScrewTube, man. Everybody keeps getting unsubscribed. We're getting buffered. They're messing with the audio. They're cutting parts out. It's just an ongoing thing. And then when they do monetize the video, they slap in like 50 freaking ads in there. Like, I have no control on it. It's just complete nonsense what they're doing. They're trying to force people not to watch this channel. They don't like what I'm talking about. So, holy shit. Oh my God, that was loud. Sorry about that. Wow. All right, let me try to blow this up. Whoa, that was heavy duty in the headset there. Woo. All right. Hey, thanks out there, Ryan. So I'm going to play it with no sound, but look at them octopuses on his windshield from that typhoon. What kind of power is sucking up the octopuses out of the ocean, and they're splattering all over the place. Let me play that again. But look at that crazy stuff, man. We've seen fish and other things, but I've never seen octopuses, you know, landing on people's windshields. So pretty crazy right there. So that is some crazy video footage. So thanks to whoever posted that. That's just wild. All right, let me see if I can get it off here now. All right. So the Intel, you know, all the chipsets that are in our computers and phones and all that stuff. Check this out. Intel drones light up the sky. Now, China has been doing these kind of 3D Project Blue Beam things, you know, for a long time. They're way ahead of us, but now, you know, we got the Intel here. Let me play. I haven't played this, so I don't know what it's going to be like. Let me turn the sound off. But yeah, this is like Project Blue Beam. Look at that stuff, man. So let me fast forward a little bit and get past their crap. So is that all they're going to show us? Here, we'll just go on down. Let me just pause. I don't want to hear their nonsense. But, you know, experience drones with dark arts at Hogwarts. Yeah, dark arts for sure. So anyway, you know, if you see some crazy stuff up in the sky, it's probably not a UFO. It's probably these thousands of little tiny micro drones that are creating images in the sky. Pretty soon it's going to be where we're not going to be able to tell what is real and what is fake. So this guy here, I'm not going to say his name, but he got whacked. He got suffocated to death, got a sock shoved down his throat, something. Nothing adds up with the official story. But check this out. I don't know if you knew about this, but he hoped to see the human race with his own DNA. This come out in July 31st. So he hoped to see the human race with his DNA by impregnating women at his vast New Mexico ranch. What the hell? So that's how psycho these people are. So yeah, hey, thanks out there, Super Dave. So yeah, this psychopath, the guy deserved to get whacked. But now all the people that were going to sue him are going to have a hard time trying to get any kind of compensation. Yeah, he may not be dead, man. He could be on another island. Who knows? They definitely don't want his, you know, they don't want him talking about the, you know, the Clinton cartel or any of the other people out there. And here's another thing on the cooler weather. Taste of September to hold around northeastern U.S. through Sunday. Why is it cold? Why are we feeling September temperatures in August when it's supposed to be the freaking hottest part of the year? Well, that's because they're manipulating the jet streams. We show it on a nightly basis. Look at that. Here's our jet stream. Straight across. That's not how it works. You know, they'll make up names. They'll say it's an upper level jet stream, a mid-level jet stream, a lower level jet stream. All lies. We know how it works. Man, stupid mainstream. Like, I'm not paying these mainstream propaganda, fear porn line a-holes $1 a week to look at this stuff. But this article was on an armed civilian stopped a mass shooting. This is the best thing for mass shootings. A good guy with a gun. But I'm not going to be able to show you because I'm not paying their dollar. Here's another, you know, saying the FBI reportedly can't get into the Dayton suspect's phone. I'm not going to say, you know, the rest of the name. Man, they can get in this phone. It's just an iPhone 5. I got friends that can get in this phone in minutes. So yeah, all lies, man. They're not going to give us the real story on any of this stuff because it's all fake. It's all the alphabet soup gang agendas. And then we got this. This is pretty weird. This is the sci-fi city. It's like the Blade Runner. And it's actually happening. We're talking flying cars, robot maids, glow-in-the-dark sand, artificial moon, robotic dinosaurs. And this is going to be going on down in Saudi Arabia. Now, if you guys ever looked at their infrastructure down there, this is where a bunch of the giant weather manipulation programs are running. But their cities are just insane looking. So this super rich Arab dude is going to be building this just freaky city. And it's already underway. So we're talking, you know, 3D legit holograms and stuff. And it's going to be, the end goal is going to be like the Eli Musk Neuralink. So just more stuff, more transhumanism, more, you know, more of the same New World Order stuff. Now, this was an old article. The secret presidential chemtrail budget uncovered. Congress exceeds billions to spray populists like roaches. Now, I was going to get kind of deep into this one, but really I need to get into some other stuff. I'll probably do a video just on that. Like I said, it's an older article, but it's a good one. Here we go with the more propaganda news. Tears the guts out of the Endangered Species Act. It's just not wolves, grizzly bears, bald eagles. Let's see here. Wiping out many types of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, screw this article. I really hate the mainstream media. Uh-oh, now I'm going to get in trouble for hate speech because I don't trust the mainstream media. Russia bans George Soros charity as a security threat. Russia has banned the pro-democracy charity funded by hedge fund billionaire George Soros, saying the organization posed a threat to both state security and the Russian Constitution. What do you think it's doing on here? Man, this is an old article too. How the hell did I get all these old articles? Oh my gosh. All right, the little dirty secret about K versus KU frequencies. You know, I didn't get time to read this. I'm going to hold off on that. This is about the 5G stuff. I need to make some separate videos, shorter videos. This is coming out of the New York Times. How many hogs can be slaughtered per hour? The pork industry wants more. Now, we know over in China, man, there's like, and in Australia, the pork market is just in deep trouble because of the swine flu and all these other pig Ebola and all that stuff. On top of all the farmers being ran off their properties with weather warfare, there's like a giant shortage of this stuff. Well, anyway, the federal government is poised this month to adopt a rule that would essentially turn the largest pork processing lines into the United States into the Autobahn, no speed limit. Currently, plants are allowed to slaughter a maximum of 1,106 hogs per hour. As hogs move down the slaughter lines, federal inspectors stationed at each plant examine them and remove any parts potentially harmful to customers. So just more, more madness going on. It's like they want to run everything out, run the population out of food, and then they have full control of the Monsanto seeds, the drought-resistant seeds, the aluminum-resistant seeds. Everything's going to be petri dish meat and all that stuff. Hey, thanks there, Leslie. So, let me see it. This is an old article too, but it was worth reading. So 72 were killed resisting gun confiscation by the National Guard in Boston. Now this happened back in 1775. The National Guard units seeking to confiscate and catch a recently banned assault weapons were ambushed by elements of a paramilitary extremist faction. Military and law enforcement sources estimated that 72 were killed, more than 200 injured before government forces compelled to withdraw. Speaking after the class, Massachusetts Governor Thomas Gage declared that the extremist faction, which was made up of local citizens, has links to the radical right-wing tax protest movement. They blamed the extremists for recent incidents of vandalism directed against IRS, the governor who described the group's organizers as criminals. So they issued an executive order authorizing the summary arrest of any individual who has interfered with the government's efforts to secure law and order. The military raid on the extremists' arsenal followed widespread widespread refusal by the local citizenry to turn over recent outlawed assault weapons. They issued a ban on military-style assault weapons and ammunition earlier in the week. This decision followed a meeting, blah, blah, blah. We get on down in here. So ironically, the local citizenry blamed government forces rather than the extremists for the civilian deaths. Before order could be restored, armed citizens from surrounding areas descended upon the guard units. Finding this force is overmatched by the armed mob, ordered a retreat. Now keep all this in mind because this may have to happen again. So back then they tried to take the guns away, and look what happened. They didn't win. So we got to hope that happens again. This is the sole purpose for the Second Amendment right. A tyrannical government trying to take too much control. And the Second Amendment is to be able to have, the same kind of guns they have. You can't go in with a pistol to an AK-47 fight. Anyway, guys, keep that in mind. All right, warning issued for Apple's 1.4 billion iPad and iPhone users. Apple's having a bad week just days after the Face ID was hacked and the company's user hostile iPhone battery practices were exposed. An extraordinary story of Apple's neglect has resulted in a warning every iPhone and iPad user needs to know about. Picked up by the Apple insider security firm Checkpoint has revealed and has found a way to hack every iPhone and every iPad running iOS 8 up to the betas of iOS 13. This spread covers 8 years of devices. Well then how come they can't crack the guy's phone? Remember in the beginning they said they couldn't crack his phone? So who's lying? Take a guess. Oh, I might play this over on DLive later. Not tonight, but this was like 6 years ago, and it's about the geoengineering and climate change. These are the concepts that they were going over and what we're seeing today. Anyway, we'll do that over on DLive. Let's jump into some weather looking stuff here. Get a drink my coffee. All right, here we go. So the radars are back up. They weren't working yesterday. I think that might have been due to an internet outage. I looked on the down detector. I guess there was like quite a few places that were without internet for like 12 hours yesterday. So apparently it affected the GOES 16, GOES 17 data. So here we are. Let's go ahead and check the radars while we're here. Yeah, you know what? And what's really weird, man, where are all the payphones? Remember growing up, all the payphones on every corner at every gas station? I don't think they're around anymore. I haven't seen one in years. Has anybody seen one out there? So, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know where the paid phones went. They're gone. That was probably the securest phone lines around, and they got rid of them. Yeah, that's a fact. Smart, but if they call them smartphones, then that means that you're dumb for having it. It's the opposite of what they say. We got beams coming out of the California radar. And I also seen some other beam action coming out of St. Louis. That one looks like that one's running for more than 15 minutes. We're going to take a look at that one. Wonder if I can go down with this. Let's just take a look at these. I haven't got to look at these in a while. Has anybody even seen a payphone? Like, I can't find none in Missouri. I've been looking for a couple days and I just can't find them. Yeah, pretty crazy. So they got rid of our payphones. You know, they can't track you on the, well, I mean, yeah, we definitely got some weather manipulating beams coming out of St. Louis here. I need to go down a little farther. I need to probably go down here to southern Missouri. And we'll see what kind of beam action we got. Now what we're looking at when we see these, whenever it gets loaded here, when we see the beams, that's what's called searchlight mode. There's actually regulations on these beams. It's kind of a maintenance deal. Yeah, that one's definitely running for a long time. Now these things are supposed to only run 5 to 7 minutes. Otherwise, you know, they're heating up the sky, whichever way the tilt is pointed. Could be dropping birds out of the sky. But they're definitely affecting the weather. Hopefully I can get this to run. There it goes. So we got beams coming out of several different places here. Beaming the storms. Let me back out. I'm going to try to see if I can find the biggest one here, and then we'll zoom in on it. Every storm's man-made. You got all the aerosols being deployed. Let me bring over my other page here so we can look. Oh, so you do got a payphone? Yeah, you'd think they'd have payphones now with, you know, the debit card things. The beams are they're sending out RF. So they're sending out radio frequencies, which can affect, you know, with the aerosols that are being deployed. You also have, you know, what we call microwave pulses coming out of the next rad. You got to remember all these next rads that have been updated are phased arrays. They're just like a Hart facility, but a smaller version. Now, all these cell towers, or the next rads here, they're not super powerful by themselves, but when you're triangulating a bunch of these together, I mean, it's just like you got a harp in everybody's neighborhood. A mini harp array. They're phased array. So yeah, this one in St. Louis is definitely doing some funny business. So I'm kind of watching to see if it affects the rain. You know, one thing you'll notice, like with most of these storms, they'll keep the next rads turned way down. And then you'll notice when the storm goes by, they crank the radars back up, and that pushes the storm off. Like, see, these are all turned way down low. But then they crank them up, that pushes it off. I mean, if you really watch this thing, you can see how the radars affect the moisture. You know, we played that little there in the intro about the birds. They say it's birds and bugs and all that BS. That's all nonsense. This is not the sun coming across. It don't even correlate with the sun, and all the meteorologists, that's all lies what they say. They just make up something different all the time. Like, I can show you if it's working. Let me go over here to Utah. And this radar here, we can pretty much catch every day. We can see it sending and receiving signals to the military radars. It's not showing up on this map. Let's see if this thing will load. These are like wind farms or solar farms. But you're going to see coming right out of the center of the next rad right here, you'll see little waves, little like 3 pulses going, then you'll see return echoes. It's not rain, it's not clouds, it's signals. It's frequencies. So I'm trying to see if it's going off right now. And I'm really not seeing it today. So it's not really up and running today, but man, we've caught it so many times. It'll be like a bow echo shooting off, and then you'll see a return echoes going back. All right, let's go ahead and get this kind of loaded for a little bit later here. So hope everybody had a good Monday out there. I'm pretty damn tired today. Mondays suck, for sure. All right, let me get this going. Now, yesterday we had a mass spraying operation over Alaska. And this is not loaded very good, but I can already tell you right now they're still completely bombarding Alaska. We still have our bunker fuel operations over here. Let me go ahead and add that layer just to verify. And I think the bunker fuel operation down the Bajas is gone. Like, I don't think it's there today, but we'll verify once we get this layer to load. And thanks everybody out there for sharing this stuff. Because, like I said, man, YouTube keeps like deleting and unsubbing people every day. It's been going on for about 3 weeks now. Hey, thanks, Carolyn. Yeah, I've been watching it. We were like way up in the 52,000. And then I did a couple of videos that they demonetized, and then they just started deleting subs like daily. It goes up and down. They'll knock it down. Today they knocked it down to like 51.6. It rebounded back up to 51.8 or 9. I mean, it's just ridiculous what they're doing. Yeah, it shouldn't be buffering too bad right now. We're in the green. At least on my end, we're in the green. Oh yeah, we got mass bunker fuel operations out here in the Pacific. Still in the Alaska, the Sea of Alaska. Down below the Aleutian Island chain. We see these are the long, kind of straight lines. I know it's probably hard to pick up on the live here. Let me just go down here and look to see. We had a mass operation over here yesterday, so it's definitely went way down. Unless the yellow is just all the bunker fuel. Yeah, we can definitely see them over here. Let's see if they're way over here by the Kamchatka Peninsula like they were yesterday. If they are, it's not picking them up very good. But yeah, yesterday was insane. Definitely see some up in the Bering Sea. All right, let's just take that off. Let's kind of go over this kind of quick. Had to do a lot of talking at work today, so my voice is kind of shot. So Wisconsin's getting hammered. Michigan, you're getting hammered. Minnesota hammered with the chemtrails, like all the way up into Canada. I know I scroll around a lot, but just trying to get through this. West Virginia bombarded right now. Parts of Tennessee. So this is all coming towards the east, southeast. What is this thing down here? This looks like a fabricated something. Let's let that load. Rain bomb in Michigan, don't doubt it one bit. Yeah, everything's multi-purpose. You know, all these aerosols that are being deployed, it's multi-purpose, man. It's not only a eugenics program, It's to kill the trees. It's killing the plants. It's killing the bugs. It's killing everything. You know, they want to bring in the transhumans, the AI, and exterminate us. There's too many of us, so they want to depopulate us. Now, these people don't eat the same food. These technocrats, that's who's responsible. They don't eat the foods we eat. They do all kinds of weird, like, blood transfusions, and, you know, they drink human blood. I mean, they do all kinds of insane stuff, man. They're evil. So, yeah, whatever this little system is down here, this is definitely all synthetic clouds. This is all man-made. Yeah, definitely. They're terraforming the planet. Oh, I had an article where they're wanting to terraform the moon. They got these little, I don't know what they are, some kind of microbes, but they can apparently live in zero gravity and all that crap that, you know, we don't even know if we can believe any of it. But anyway, they're going to release them on the moon. So they're terraforming the moon. I'll try to bring that article up tomorrow. Yeah, while I'm zooming in and out, it kind of sometimes it helps this thing load a little quicker. I'm just kind of going over this real fast. Look at all the fires down in South America, Brazil. Tons of weather manipulation going on in Argentina. We had the ship tracks over here off the coast of Chile. Ooh, I can already see that big blob of dust coming in from the Saharas. Next wave. There's been a big spraying operation over the last 4 or 5 days up here by Greenland, and they still have the ship tracks. We got a couple ship tracks still up here. Not seeing the aerosols as bad today. So all this stuff will be over in the UK here in a couple days. They're already getting hit. They've had tornadoes, floods all over here. I may have to jump over to the Facebook page just to show you some of that stuff. Let me try to get it loaded if it'll let me. Crazy footage coming out of there. Alright, I know I'm jumping around. I'm just trying to get this to go. It's just stream's starting to suck again. Let me get over to my page here. I usually try to share a lot of these stories over to the Facebook page, the Above Ground World News page, and the personal page. All right. Let me get down. I can't remember what this one was. Man, like I can't even get this Facebook thing to run on my phone or my computer. It just sucks. Yeah, here's some of the flooding. This is coming out of the Middle East. Look at that. Look how close they built that building to the cliff. So it's just flooding all them cars out. And that's what the weather engineers over in this area want. They want to turn the desert green. That's their whole plan. Look at it busting out the windows. But yeah, man, insane amount of rain. We've had tornadoes. Here's snow in Australia. Look at the kangaroos hopping around in the snow. Pretty crazy, huh? For a warming planet. Alright, yeah, this just sucks at load. Alright, screw that. That was Australia with the kangaroos. And the other one was the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, I mean, I show that company all the time. Right on the front of their weather program, it says they want to turn the desert green again. And if you notice, all the dust is blowing over from the Saharas over to the United States. That's a good one. Don't be dumb, use that thumb. So here's the next cyclone or typhoon. What is it? Coming into Japan. We'll check that real quick. Fires are still going like crazy. You know, we got the radioactive cloud up there. Let's just go ahead and check this real quick. Oh, we got a little tropical storm Henrietta over here off the Bajas. And then here's this tropical storm Carosa. I can't believe that's not a cyclone or typhoon. Oh wow, they got it downgraded. Still gonna hit in the exact spot, but it's downgraded here. So that's not gonna do nothing. It's just gonna die out. And this one is gonna not do nothing. All right, so that's all good there. Look at all this smoke, man. Like all this stuff. I think we're gonna be in for a rude awakening when the weather changes, when the polar vortex moves back up into the northern hemisphere. If they have not changed, look at that demon looking cloud thing. Whoa, that's weird looking right there too. Whoa, man, there's some freaky looking stuff going on down here. Yeah, I think we're gonna be in for maybe one of the worst winters ever. All right, let's go check the earth dome just real quick. Yeah, but see, there's way more than just Hart, man. Let me show you guys. Everybody says just Hart, man. Hart is nothing now. Yeah, Harp is like outdated, man. The next rads are Harp now. You know, you got a big ass facility down here in Peru. You got one right over here, the Arecibo. Like, man, there's hundreds of them. People only talk about Harp when there's so many, and I'm going to show you some right now. Come over here to climateviewer.org/3D. You can come over here to the map. You can click, let's click the atmospheric sensors. So we'll put on the Harp. We'll put on the Russian woodpecker. That was just in the news. Really don't need we could put on the lasers and directed energy weapons. Put on the Antarctic Harp and ionospheric heaters worldwide. Now you got to have the digisons on here because that's what the Harp frequencies bounce off of. The ionospheric heaters send out high frequency, hits the ionosphere, turns the ionosphere into a plasma antenna, then it bounces down into these digisons, and then they convert it into low frequencies, super low frequencies, extra low frequencies. So you got like all this stuff. So this is just a small handful. And let me change this map so it looks more like a map. Now this is just some of them. This is not all of them whatsoever. So when you look at it like this, man, now if you try to put on the NEXRAD sites and the military sites, this map would be completely inundated. But look right down here. The Arecibo, you see this thing, it's down here in Puerto Rico. You see this sucker on all the James Bond movies. This thing has 600,000 watts. It's putting out a frequency 5.1 to 8.175. It's got 6 dipole antennas. Look, you can zoom in on this sucker, man. It's big as a city. I mean, it's huge. Like, you could compare this, the size of this facility, and the thing, they're building another antenna array inside this thing. I mean, this thing is huge. And this definitely is a transmitter. So that's Arecibo. So that's right there where they form the hurricanes. You know, it's right there. They got it in a strategic place. Because all our hurricanes, you know, they try to conjure them up through here. You need that. And then look, we just go right on down here to Peru. If you haven't seen this one tucked away in the mountains here, a super darn. Look how big this facility is. It's bigger than Hart. This is bigger than the Hart facility. And you also got a Digison right here. So that one is huge. Let's see if we can get some other pictures. Yeah, huge facility. 4.5 megawatts running at 49.92 megahertz. If that dust keeps coming, we're not going to have a hurricane season. The dust is inundating any kind of tropical storm development. So, I mean, you got them over here in Japan. Look, right, the typhoon's going to come right through here, and look, here's theirs. Look at that thing. So this one's running on a 1 megawatt, 46.5 megahertz, right here. So it's a big facility too. Not near as big as Arecibo, but these are weather control, man. And once the Wxxxx goes online, it's going to be geostorm in full effect. Let me try to find that. Oh yeah, it's over here. The Wxxxx is going to put out 100 million more watts than HARP. It's going to be just, I mean, it's like gigawatts, like Back to the Future type stuff. But you also have the Tronsome, the Trosmo ionospheric heater. This thing has 144 cross dipole antennas running 5.3 to 8 megahertz, 36 cross dipoles, 3.8 to 5.7 megahertz, 36 cross dipoles running at 5.3 to 8.0. Max power, 1,200,000 watts. So this is a scatter radar. But where is the Wxxx? That's the one I'm looking for. The Wxxx. I might not even be in there. It's right around somewhere over here. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's not it. But it's in this area. I got some LiDAR installations. Where in the heck is the Wxxx? I'm just getting too tired. I can't find it. So there's another transmitter. Man, it's right here somewhere. Oh, is this it? No. Wow, it's like they took off the Wxxx off here or something. That's weird. I can't find it. Whoa. I think I'm in the right spot. That's probably, that's Russia. That's the Surya ionospheric heating facility. 750,000 watts. That's weird. I can't find that. It says ice cat right there. It's like maybe it got took down. Maybe they're not building it now. Maybe they stopped the, wait, let's go there. They're hiding the information or something. Ah, it's gone. Wow. I'll have to have Jim Lee look into that, see what's going on. All right, let's take a quick look at the spraying operations real quick. Wow, that's all synthetic clouds going over the East Coast right now. Stay indoors. You'll get a chest cold from this stuff. Heavy spraying over the Carolinas, Virginia, Pennsylvania. Secondary operation over New York. Boston's getting waxed right now. All the storms are still running backwards in the Gulf of Mexico. Looks like they might be trying to push the gear drive out. So I'm going to have to really look into that tomorrow. Let's see where we're at with the dust. So, wow, look how big this blob of crap coming in is. This is what I'm talking about. This is why there's no hurricanes forming yet. I mean, we're still early in the season, but until this dust stops, there won't be any hurricanes unless they form them over here and then try to bring them up over Mexico and then up into Florida or wherever. Try to go one more day. Look at this. We're going to get inundated with more of this Sahara dust. This is the main reason. And then the other reason, if you go to the air currents and you go up here, we're looking at the polar vortex winds. They're centered over the Antarctica. These things are going to be shifting up and then coming back up to the northern hemisphere. But we have this mega wind anomaly just north of the equator that is blowing all that dust towards us. Check this out. We'll go back to last year, see what it looked like. Look at this. Look at the difference. This was last year at the very exact same time. And let me put it back on today. Click now. Look at that. Look at this crazy wind anomaly. Something is definitely going on, and I think it's all due to them heating up the North Pole, because we have a heating event going on up here, the whole north. This is where all the cloud seeding and bunker fuel operations are blowing up to. We also have a heating event down here in the Antarctica, right here below Africa. The grays, man, it's like a compression event. Look, it's pushing the polar vortex air, the cold air, is pushing it out. Now we can go down through the levels. Let's check the jet stream temperatures. So here's the jet stream temperatures. You can see right where the tropical storm is. And then if we go to the ocean and check the surface temperatures of the ocean, we're going to see that the ocean is actually cooling. The ocean where a El Nino would form is actually cooling, like big time. I mean, this heat right over here is almost always there. Here's the other big heat area, and this is all becoming stagnant water because of the currents. When you look at the currents, something has happened with the currents. It's not coming up in through here anymore. It's like bypassing. There's just like a whirlpool, like a vortex right on in the center of the Gulf of Mexico. So it's bypassing. It's not circulating this water. So as you got all this toxic, and maybe that's why, maybe from all the floods coming down the Mississippi, it's actually pushing everything out, and it's creating like a whirlpool, and then it's just sucking all that, algae bloom and all that crap. When we go look at the sea surface temperature anomalies, it's real cold at the equator. I mean, it's real cold at the equator. It's colder at the equator than it is in the Antarctic. So right here, there's just some freaky cold spot. But then look where the heat is. The heat is out here off the coast of California, Washington, Oregon, up into the Bering Sea. This is where they're doing the heating event. They're creating a rapid heating event up here. So wow. Look, the water is even cool, like really cool, over here where the Sahara dust is. Like there's the only place a hurricane could form would be, out here, and then it would just curl around right over to Europe. And they just, unless they fabricate it right here in the Gulf of Mexico, I just don't see any kind of hurricanes forming. At least not right now. Since we, let me try to go to the west side here. Whoa, what happened here? Getting a white screen. Man, what'd it do? I probably shut that off. Alright, here we go. So let me go to the global sectors. Wow, it's like my web page isn't working. Yeah, it's pretty maddening what they're doing, man. If they really wanted to stop these so-called fake climate change and all that crap, they'd have to stop all the bunker fuel operations. They'd have to stop all the aircraft. And right there would fix the climate. The volcanoes would take care of what it does. The natural fires, but there hardly is even natural fires. So this thing is not loading. It's like broke down again. It's completely like broke down. It's not doing anything. Man. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this a show. I want to thank everybody that shares this stuff out. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night. We'll be here tomorrow night, God willing. We'll do the conference call, and then we'll jump into the show. Anyway, guys, much love. If you haven't checked out the D-Live, that underground secret waterway video I posted on there, you got to go watch that. That's pretty freaky information. It's over on D-Live. I posted, the link should be down here. Yeah, it's right above the show links. Here, I'll post it in chat. Copy that. If you haven't seen this, that's pretty good watch right there. Anyway, guys, much love. We'll see you tomorrow night. Be safe out there. Armor up. No fear. We got this. We'll keep on fighting. And it was play Rise. We got to rise. If I get it to work.